Hello, I'm Faithlin Ho, and this would be my proposal for the subject MAE. The domain that I'm discussing is in the social area, and we're looking into how to connect people through culture. And the app that I'm going to use is dating apps. So we are going to talk about the research, the generative research I've done, the affinity analysis that I've gotten from the data, the abstract, the introduction and related work, motivation of the project, description of the project, task and milestones, references, and appendix where I'll discuss about the interview results and the diary logging results. So first off, research questions. I asked there are a few questions that are going to be asked in this research to better understand the field, the domain. So first off is what are the features of dating applications that are mostly used? What are the challenges of people for using the apps, and how do the apps really impact people's lives? And are there any drawbacks? And lastly, does it really help to get connected? Because that's the main goal of it all. Does it really help in connecting people? For the potential users, it's people that are single, adult, outgoing people, and people that just wants to make friends. Of course, it's called a dating app, so it's really for people that wants to get into a relationship, a romantic one. But of course, we can't exclude the people that just want to make friends. There are people that use dating apps for that purpose. So for the research method, I used semi-structured interview. I use this method is because that for interviews, it's a defined structure of questions that you can ask. So, but then when we interview the participant, the interviewee, they have different answers for each of them. And to really understand them, sometimes we need to ask extra questions. That's why it's a semi-structured interview. So there are a few predetermined questions you can read through here, and they are asked. Note something to note is that for privacy purposes, I've replaced every single participant's name with a fake name, and their pictures are blurred out. Okay. The other research method that I used is diary logging, and it's a tool to be used to say it's just like a diary. Okay, but the purpose of this diary is to log down every single thing you've done during the apps that the participants has used. It's to record down what they really felt about the app. Since there's not a lot of time, it's only done over a span of 4 days, unfortunately. And next, sample size. It's 3 university students and 1 working adult. The reasons why we didn't include teenagers are because it's 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 just a bad influence to encourage younger kids to get into relationships. Not say that it's completely bad, but not going to encourage it either. Okay, so first, this is participant S. They talked about how they use this app called Bumble, but they don't really find it interesting, and they find it more comfortable using through in real life chatting. They don't like going online only, but they do usually use the swipe and chat function. Um, yes, but there's things that they don't like, which is the daily limit, yada yada. So this is the summary for participant S. For L, they like to check out people. They like to really go out and see them, but they of course have things that they are worried about, reserved about, which is they are worried that there are people with ill intentions. For participant K, they don't think that all of the users are very online on the app, which makes them have second thoughts about the apps. As for participant M, they find it interesting that they keep on running into people that are their friends from. So they find it quite interesting that the world is a small world indeed. Okay, so for the limitation for the study is that this study is only done by 4 participants. So we can't really say accurate. So it should only be used as a reference and with caution. Okay, so for the 3 levels of data hierarchy of the affinity analysis, these are the nodes, and these are the conclusions deducted from the first level nodes. And this one are the statements that we can say about the apps. And these are the design ideas gotten from the interviews. So this is the abstract we introduced about the age where people like everything to be on the move. Even when knowing people, they don't want to know people just where they are. They want to know people out of the out of out of their area. So this is a way to let them really know people, the international communities and whatnot. So for related works, introduction is quite similar, but then we go a bit deeper. And here we talk about how there are many different teams, and we introduce Tinder and Grindr, which is one of the most famous dating apps out there right now. Okay. As for motivation, after we interviewed them, this is the affinity analysis that we've gotten. This is how we group them. And then we talked about the statements that we concluded. First is that the users, they are worried about the issues found. They're worried that there's catfish, there's scams, there's people with ill intentions, and some try to battle this issue by just talking more. The app is going and maybe asking for social media or meeting up in public spaces. And for on the app point of view, we think that maybe the app can identity check them and add report functions so that say if the user found someone that's suspicious, they can report them and we can check on them. Next is the features. Some people don't like that there's limitations on swipes. Some say that some users aren't really active. So we thought that we can add more features to help them really connect with each other. And they also said that, and some of the conclusions is that the users need something to help them make the initiative to really meet up, to really get to know each other. So we thought that maybe since we want to include culture within, so maybe we can introduce them to events near them that they can go together, they can really get to know each other, get to know their point of view on different cultures, something to initiate and spark some conversation. And lastly, we found out that users are comfortable with using multiple apps. That's mostly because that they can get to know more people, because other people are using different apps, or some other apps have more appealing features. So we concluded that we need a large user base and more appealing features to retain the users. As for the description of the project, we gave a use case, which is, say, for example, today, the university student, they are interested in meeting someone that's also interested in Japanese events. They can download the app, they can use the identity check function to check to know if they are valid, and it'll promote the event to the student, and then they can find someone that is also interested, mutually interested, and go together. And as for the technical requirements in development tools, first off, we are going to use Figma in Android Studio. Figma is a web application app, and Android Studio, it's an IDE from Google to develop for Android. And the researcher plans to use Google Firebase as the API and use SQL. And the reason behind that is because Firebase, they can sync real-time data together, and SQLite, they have packages that are ready that can be used. So it's going to be very convenient for the developers to make it and keep it updated. As for the mockup, this is the Figma design. And here we're going to zoom in for a little bit. First, I'm going to introduce a little bit that this is the color theme that we're going for, orange and green, because the app is called Matching Orange. It's coming from the idea of in Chinese culture that people throw oranges to get matched. So this is the first screen where they introduce, they let you register, they find out your interests. Then this is the main pages where they show you people, they let you match with others. And these are the features where they let you filter, they let you find events, they let you chat with other people. And this is an interesting story that they added we can add stories so that people can know what you're up to, they can chat with you about this, that you can share culture through this either. And in your profile you can introduce the users can introduce themselves more. So that's for mockup. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so tasks and milestones. For this, we plan that within August we'll be done with the proposal and we'll move on to data storage handling. In September, the design and feature coding will be done throughout till October. Then app testing, finalize and deployment and presentation should be done in November, October to November. These are some of the references that I've used for this research. And the appendix, it contains the interview results and then, yep, diary login results. So as I said, it's only 4 days, so it's not a lot. So that's all from my proposal. Thank you very much. Goodbye.